What do you think of the 𝘓𝘪𝘮 blog post on "Something Big is Happening"?
For folks who didn't see this, the "Something Big is Happening" essay, basically, it's gotten a lot of virality, and it sparked a lot of debate between people that see it as sort of a necessary wake-up call for the average person, and people who considered it sort of, weaponized hype was one of the phrases I saw, I think, on Hacker News. The essay kind of likens the current state of AI to the weeks before COVID. He argued that tech insiders were seeing tsunami signals that the general public hasn't seen just yet. Maybe there is now a threshold we've crossed where most technical work can be done by AI with near perfection and taste. And if we take a very data-driven approach to thinking about this, year on year, the models are getting better, the harnesses are getting better, the patterns, the tools, they're getting better. I can do more with AI these days than I could a year ago. All of that is true. But to say that all kinds of technical work can now be done with near perfection data, I wouldn't personally agree with that statement. I feel like there is so much, especially in enterprise, so much engineering rigor, taste, quality, guardrails, so much that you need to bring to it to make your agentic setup not fall over when you've got a ton of traffic. That these kinds of statements, I feel like they're sometimes made overly broad by people who perhaps have not been as constantly in the weeds, trying out the models all the time and getting a sense for where are the actual productivity wins versus not. And that's some of what was getting called out by folks on Reddit or Hacker News, that these statements that are being made in this essay, yes, they're true of MVPs, yes, they're true of prototypes, but messy complexity, like we're not quite past the threshold where a lot of that can be handled extremely well by your coding agents. And so my personal take on the essay was that it felt a little bit like somebody who hadn't been following along, just finally getting around to trying out the latest models and tools and having a bit of an epiphany moment, but it not being grounded so much in data or like a broader look at the landscape of like tasks that can be done a little bit better now with AI and things that, are still rooms for improvement.
Yeah, that being said, I totally agree with that perspective. I will say, from I've been around the industry a frighteningly long time, and so many of my stories are old. But I will say, yeah, for those of us who were pioneers with the World Wide Web, I mean, I started with the web when there were 200 websites. So, we were right on the very front end of this thing, and it was amazing. And we're showing everybody, and they're just not getting it. And we were like, something is happening here. Something is happening here. You got to pay attention. Nothing. So I'm big fan of the something is happening moments.
Yeah.
But I'm also very aware of it takes longer than it appears.